The Guardians of the Green. Carlos Carrasquero. Sunlight spilled through the forest canopy like molten gold, dappling the mossy floor where a little girl wandered, humming to herself. Her name was Alina, and in her small hands she clutched a crown of wildflowers, violets, buttercups, and a single white daisy that bobbed as she skipped. She did not know she was being watched. Two pairs of eyes, bright as dew and twice as watchful, followed her every step. From within the ferns, two fairies hovered, Lyriel and Mosswing, self-proclaimed guardians of the Greenwood Glade by fact of being the only ones around. Their wings shimmered faintly, catching the sun in quiet flashes of silver and green. "She's wandered farther than before," Mosswing muttered, brushing a strand of leaf from his tunic. "She's curious," Lyriel replied softly, her voice like wind through reeds. "Curiosity is a bright thing. It must not be dimmed, only guided. It could be guided back home so we don't have to follow along so much," Mosswing said, but got no reply but a sigh from Lyriel. They followed her through the underbrush as Alina knelt beside a stream, watching the minnows dart like flickers of light beneath the water's surface. She reached to touch one, and Mosswing winced, just as a shadow rippled under the surface. With a flick of his hand, he whispered a word in the old tongue, and the shadow, an eel with teeth too sharp and venomous for this world, faded back into the depths. The girl giggled at her reflection, unaware that death had brushed so close. As she climbed over fallen logs and into the clearing beyond, Lyriel spread a veil of illusion across her path. To Alina, the clearing shimmered with harmless mist. To the lurking things, spindly crawlers that thrived in shade, it became a blaze of false daylight. They hissed and slunk away. "Do you think she can feel us?" Mosswing asked. "Children feel everything," Lyriel said, smiling faintly. "Even what they cannot name. So we are the ones being guided, marvelous," Mosswing said sarcastically. Hours passed. The forest grew darker, and the air thickened with dusk song. Alina found a patch of mushrooms that glowed faintly blue. She clapped her hands in delight, thinking them beautiful. The fairies tensed. Those were mooncaps, the kind that whispered dreams too deep for mortal minds. Lyriel darted forward, brushing her tiny hand over the girl's shoulder, murmuring a counter charm. Alina only yawned, suddenly teared, and turned toward home. As the first stars blinked awake, the cottage lights appeared between the trees. Alina broke into a run, laughter echoing behind her. Her mother's voice called from the doorway, full of annoyed but loved warmth. When the door closed and the forest grew still again, Lyriel sank onto a leaf, wings drooping. Mosswing followed, stretching with a weary sigh. "Well," he said, smiling crookedly, "another day she'll never remember." Lyriel watched the cottage window glow in the distance. "And one will never forget." The crickets sang. Fireflies danced in slow spirals around them, and the forest exhaled a long, contented breath. The dangers had returned to their shadows, the night was calm, and the little girl slept safe and dreaming. The two fairies leaned against one another beneath a curling fern, teared but happy. Tomorrow, the child would wander again. And they would be waiting again.